Farrakhan said that he was the leader of the Nation of Islam when the book came out, but this book was put together by a Nation of Islam study group, or I'm sorry, a research team. And the research team did nothing but compilate facts upon facts upon facts in this book. There's nothing anti-Semitic in the content, but truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth. That's right. That's right. Ain't nobody playing. Anyway, in the book, they cite facts like the story of Leo Frank. Leo Max Frank was an American factory superintendent who was convicted in 1913 of the murder of a 13-year-old employee, Mary Fagan, in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, stand up. His trial, conviction, and appeals attracted national attention. His lynching 2 years later, in response to the commutation of his death sentence, became the focus of social, regional, political, and racial concerns, particularly regarding anti-Semitism. He was found guilty of rape and murder of a little girl, and he got the death sentence. But the Jewish community, who was powerful, rich and powerful, was able to get the sentence commuted to life in jail, which was an outrage nationally. Today, the consensus, this is because of Jewish propaganda, I personally believe, just my opinion. Today, the consensus of researchers is that Frank was wrongly convicted and Jim Conley, a black guy, was likely the actual murderer. Remember, notice it says likely. They just blaming somebody. They're just blaming. They don't know. They're just shoot. This is the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. What happened was he was the boss at the job, and he used his white power and white privilege to grape a young girl. And after things got carried away, she died, and he killed her. And then the janitor, who was after hours, which was a black guy, he told him to clean up the mess. Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? Hey, you, come clean up. Don't that sound like people in press 333 if that sounds like something people in power would say? Hey, come clean up. Clean up my mess, Toby. That sounds like something the European in power says to the subordinate black man who's underneath him. Come clean up. So after old boy cleaned up the mess, got all the girls' DNA on him, got all the girls' blood on him, then everybody was like, Leo didn't do it. The janitor did it. Because black people just like to go around graping, black men like to go around graping women. The first movie that ever played in the White House was Birth of a Nation, a KKK movie about the graping of white women by black men. And this is the narrative pushed across the Jewish community. Born to a Jewish American family. I think that's all I wanted to read from this particular slide. Let me move forward. The case attracted national press attention, and many reporters deemed the conviction a travesty. Within Georgia, this outside criticism fueled anti-Semitism and hatred toward Frank. On August 16th, 1915, he was kidnapped from prison by a group of armed men and lynched at Marietta. Shout out to Marietta, Georgia. Tap in. Mary Fagan's hometown. The next morning, I read that a little bit wrong. On August 16th, he was kidnapped from prison by a group of armed men and lynched in Marietta, Mary Fagan's hometown, the next morning. That's how I should have read it. The new governor vowed to punish the lynchers, who included prominent Marietta citizens. But of course, nobody was charged. In 1986, Frank was posthumously, that means something that happens after death, pardoned by the Georgia State Board of Pardons and Paroles, although not officially absolved of the crime. They pardoned this man because of pressure from the ADL. This is in 1986. Somebody is ahead of me, but they're in good spirit. The ADL was created after this, even though it's on the PowerPoint. He could have just read it in the. If you read ahead of me, it's already on this particular slide, but you know, it's all good. Anyway, yeah, the new governor vowed. In 1986, Frank was pardoned. His case spurred the creation of the Anti-Defamation League. They said, we're going to protect Jews, guilty or not. I don't care if he guilty. We gonna protect him. Okay? Anyway, this led to the creation of the Anti-Defamation League and also the resurgence of the KKK. Remember, family, never forget there were 2 KKKs, not 1. Never forget there were 2 KKKs. The original KKK, which came out and it dissolved, it disappeared. Why did the KKK come back? Because of this Jewish guy. Respectfully, this is just the history, no judgment. The KKK came back because of this Jewish guy. That's why they came back into power. Crumb, the KKK was because of white people, black people. No, it's because of Jewish people.